on these platforms, good morning, and feel free to engage and join in the conversation. Nifemi, good morning. How are you?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thinking Reimagined podcast in commemoration of this year's International Youth Day. Just like Peter Ammon dedicated this episode to conversations around youth issues and also celebrating the potential of young people as partners in today's global society. With the world population now at 8 billion, we understand that young Africans are expected to constitute about 42% of global youth by 2030. And that's just some 7 years from now. As we speak, Africa has the youngest population in the world, with 70% of sub-Saharan Africa under the age of 30. So there's no doubt the passion and ingenuity of young people will bring inspiration and hope to the continent. And that's the future we all are counting on. So I want to welcome every young person to this podcast. Thank you for finding time to going to just quickly introduce everyone who's here. I just need to give me a minute to be sure that all right, so I can see Bibo, I can see Chindidu, I can see Johnny Williams and Piga. All right, so let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer Williams is a final year student, a final year art student from Liberia. I understand she aspires to be a top-rated actress. Welcome on board, Jenny. Okay, so your name is saved as Jenny on Zoom. How would you like me to call you? Jennifer, right?
Jenny, unmute your mic, please. Click on the mic icon below. Okay, I think he has to learn. Jenny, just click on the mic. You can go ahead, Nifemi.
All right, so we'll get to Jenny shortly. Bruce is a licensed FAA aeroplane pilot who studied at Phoenix Aviation, Florida. Is a singer and guitarist. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to ask everyone to take 2 minutes to talk to us about themselves, what you're passionate about, what you're doing currently, what your aspirations and dreams are, so that we can have a feel of, who we're talking to, and then we can kickstart the conversation from there. So let's begin with Bibo. If Bibo is there. I don't mind me if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly, just correct me. Bibo, are you there?
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bibo Crispy. I am a licensed FAA pilot. I love to sing. I love swimming. I love playing the piano. I love playing the guitar. I love pets. I love animals. And at the moment, surprisingly, I am also in recovery. So it's really a privilege for me to be here, because one thing I would like to inspire people who may, tread the same path that I have gone through and will be going through. Thank you.
When you say you're in recovery, what did you mean?
Yes. I'm in recovery from drug use. I had a drug problem for over 10 years, which literally ravaged my whole life. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be able to inspire.
You don't look like it at all. You don't look like what you you look like you've never, you don't even understand the meaning of the word drug. But amazing. Probably
yes. I'm happy to see Bibo here today, because that is one of the issues that a lot of young people face. But before we talk more, let me quickly introduce Piga Lelo Lohono from South Africa. He has BA in Music Sociology, University of South Africa. He's the founder of Music is Joy. He's the festival director of Fest of Africa, multi-instrumentalist, composer, scholar, teacher, and a musician of note. That means he reads music. Welcome, Piga.
Thank you, Peter. You did a far better job than I would have. You know, I don't play the games of playing CD.
I know.
Yeah. So thanks.
So you're welcome.
Sure.
And then we have Jane. Jane has been on Thinking Reimagined a couple of times. She actually grew up on Thinking Reimagined. She's a contortionist, stunt actor, sports model, cheerleader with Lagos Cheer Nigeria. She's the crown beauty queen of in mainland Africa and a brand model. So welcome, Jane. I think that covers everyone, Ifemi.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh my God, that's a lot. A lot of titles for a little girl like me. Thank you so much, sir. You set it up.
Oh, and we're joined by two white. Okay, how do I say this now? Two white Bedu poets, who's a photographer, videographer, production designer, art director, filmmaker, printer, fashion model, capsule coach, printer and visual artist. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I think someone else has joined us. Let me see. Olamide. Yes, welcome, Olamide. Now, Olamide is a ballerina, one of the young aspiring, what do I call her, prima ballerinas in Nigeria, training with Lip Dance Nigeria and NK Ballet School, United Kingdom, multi-skilled artist, community teacher, and ambitious fashion designer. Welcome. So, Nifemi, we have a great mix.
Thank you. Thank you.
Turn on your mic, people, so we can see you, please. And let's start the conversation. Nifemi, over to you.
I also encourage you to put on the camera so we can see you and also connect to you better. So the idea was to break this into two groups, but I think we're just going to go full length because we're starting late and we have to end the, by 12 latest. So I want us to consider this a town hall meeting. It's not an interview, it's just a conversation we're having with young people. And by the way, I consider myself a youth as well. I might not, age-wise, I might not fit into Gen Zs, but I'm still very young. And I'm sure that Peter Amamboyo is also young, irrespective of the gray hair I'm seeing somewhere here.
Well, I think you're 18 to 65 now, so.
Oh, great.
Which is correct.
So I want to begin with what you guys consider the biggest to young people right now. And I want to speak from your own experience, right? So we have gone to, things already, and that's quite laudable. But I'd like us to just explore one idea each for each person, what you consider to young people fulfilling their potentials and getting best out of their time and their life. Think of people is becoming a part and parcel. I mean, it's becoming a part of the life of the young people. Who else considers that a challenge? And, he also pointed out the issue of social media, the hard mentality, everyone is doing everything to stay relevant online. You go on Instagram, people do weird things to get the numbers. Who else considers that a challenge, or you think it's just a part of a useful life?
I think we should bring Piga in, because Piga is someone that studied all aspects of music, and he teaches music, and he's from a bit different, but he writes scores, and maybe he can shed some light because from a different perspective. Piga, are you there?
Yeah, no. They're throwing me under the bus. It's fine. I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. Can we see you?
Okay. You
Your
want to
camera.
see me? Why? Okay. Can you see me? Let's see.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna revert back, because when you have your video on, then there's latency that it does. So everyone saw me.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can close my camera now so that at least we have better connection. But anyway, into the subject matter, I think I would want to start our exposition this way, to say that youth problems or perceived youth problems are not necessarily uniquely youth problems, especially in the continent of Africa, where when you open Nifemi, you quite explained that majority of the population in Africa is youth. So it means then by inference, whatever problems of Africa then become youth problems, or whatever youth problems become problems of Africa, right? Whether we're speaking of unemployment, we're speaking of lack of access to material things, or lack of access to opportunities, that become characteristic of what the continent is at this current disjuncture, right? So to add into then the suggestions and opinions that were put forth, whether on social media, on music, and like any other thing in this universe, it has its own potential to have negatives and positives, right? It doesn't matter. We can talk of climate change. People can literally discuss the negatives of climate change or the positives of it. So I think rather than saying this is particularly wrong, this is particularly right, we can then preoccupy ourselves in the intention of use of these particular things and say, why is it that out of all the possibilities of this particular thing, whether it's social media, this is the particular direction that the world has decided to go on and not the other one? There's so many positives on social media, in as much as also there's bullying, there's cyberbullying, there's this and that. Why is it that those are the prevalent ones instead of the other positive ones? Then it opens the spectrum more, because then we begin to comprehend that these are tools, but what's more worrying is the user of the tools, the intention of the user. And then when we go down to then search and say, well, what is it here? Because even the very same youth that we are talking about comes from a particular community. So what does that say about that community that produces a youth of that kind of spectrum? So I think, those are my small contributions to just try and open it up, so that we can look at different aspects of the conversation. Thank you.
Fantastic contribution.
Okay. Sorry, before we continue, I'd like to welcome Lydia John. She's a multifaceted actress, MC, author of Get That Acting Job, founder, Better You Initiative, coach in acting, and advocate for children's life. And DME is a university student, a model, fashion pageant king, and a dancer and actor. Welcome, guys, joining the conversation. Go ahead, Nifem.
Thank you.
Welcome, Lydia, and thank you for joining the conversation. Let's hear from Anke. Just weigh in with your contribution. That's too white, right? Bedu Point. Please go ahead. Is Andrew there?
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
Hello.
Yes, go ahead,
yeah,
Andrew. We can hear you.
All right. Good morning from this side of the world. Yeah. So from what we are discussing thus far, let me react to what you said about Ashake. Yeah, it has been a norm that it is a fact right now that the spotlight of the world is on Africa, and Afrobeat is the most expensive bride at the moment. And then we have a lot of content coming out of Africa, but the majority of the content coming out is not something that is morally pleasing, but then we still see the creativity in them. Hello? Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Yes. Jenny.
Okay.
Hello.
Maybe coming into the mic so we can hear Andrew quite clearly.
Hello.
yeah, we hear you, Jenny. Just hold on. Andrew is making a point. For total name.
Right, just a minute, Andrew. Can we have the host mute every other participant who is not contributing? That way we can control the interrupt.
Okay. Jenny. All right, thank you. Go ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead, Andrew.
All right. So, yeah, but then we still have a part to play in as much as the majority of the content coming out of Africa or Nigeria, sort of, okay, let me speak for Nigeria, that's what I know more. It's not morally pleasing, but we still feel the creativity in there. So I believe in a world that we are, there will always be the good and the bad. You can't rule out one side totally. The only thing you can do is to strike a balance, which means if a chunk of people are doing something that is of the majority and it seems that it's not morally pleasing, those who feel that the other side should pop, which is the morally side of things should pop, should not just speak about it, but should be doers of what they are preaching. So that makes me to come to the point that we can as well, for creatives like us and others, we can take a side in this. We can take a side in that content that we actually portray what we want the people, to hear. Like for instance, we have the likes of Paul and some other artists who are doing that, churning out socially conscious and morally pleasing content, and we have other people. So if we have more artists like them churning out content, we'll have a balance. So if someone wants to hear something, let's say I'm a piano kind of vibe, and the person wants something morally pleasing, you have an option. You won't just listen to this one because, okay, we have more of this one. But you can listen to this other side where you feel, okay, this one will actually bring life to my spirit. Because music is spirit. What you listen to has a way of informing or building your character, everything about you. So the internet is good, just as what our brother from South Africa said. The internet is good, but how the user uses it, the intention is what is most important. The thing is, one of the youth pandemic in Nigeria, which I try to address, which will be in one of my forthcoming EP, is to address this issue of Yahoo. Because in Nigeria, Yahoo now is now something very fashionable. That people see crime as something very classic. Where you see youth, they feel very important when they do fraud. Because you see someone who is a fraudster having government personnel, which is army and police, becoming his bodyguard. And then you are confusing the moral and social construct of our teenagers, because they don't know if this is actually good or bad. You see, and even the government who are supposed to do something about it, they are romancing this whole thing because they know that they are the best Yahoo boys.
All right.
So they
all right. All right. So I know that at the point I go way of doing things. And I appreciate your contribution and the passionate way with which you have spoken. But we need to keep the timing short so that we can accommodate as many people as possible. I understand that Olamide is also here. Olamide is a ballerina trainee with Leap of Dance Nigeria. She's also a multi-skilled artist, like quite a number of people on this podcast. So I want us to take this conversation to discuss not just generic issues with young people around the world, but personally what you consider to be the biggest challenge for you, in all of your endeavors. So Olamide, talk to us. What for you has been the biggest challenge, either trying to become in your journey to becoming a fashion designer, training for ballerina, or any other endeavor that you're currently engaged in? Olamide, you have just 2 minutes. Please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Hello, please turn on your
camera.
camera.
You can hear me very well?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, we can.
Hello, everyone. So for me, one of the biggest challenge for me is depression and sometimes peer pressure, because most of the time, as I'm a dancer, it's really, really hard to match up the level of because we don't really do what Nigerians do. We do what the whites does. And it's really, really depressing because I want to be more like them. I want to be as they are. I want to do exactly what they're doing. So for me, it's depression because I'm always fighting. I want to be the best. I do not want to, because I have so many younger ones looking up to me, I don't want to let them down. I want to do more and add more, think of things to do, think of how to improve myself and how the younger generation is going to be looking up to me. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
So,
yes, because she's a ballet dancer.
So that's what
ballet
I'm going to say for me is depression, because yes.
And you studied in
ballet is not
UK
obviously a
and
Nigerian
Italy,
dance,
correct?
it's an international dance. Yeah. Yes, I did. I just got back from the UK actually. And when I was in the UK, I got more of look because I'm a dancer of color. And it was really, really depressing because everyone in the class is white and you are the only black girl there, and everyone are like, if you are called to the combination and everybody's like, what is she going to do? What is she going to do? And you are like, oh my God, I need to get this right. I need to prove to them that yes, we dancers of color can be more and can actually do more, especially from Africa. Yeah. Especially from Africa. So for me, I would say depression. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what's also killing most of the youth out there, because they don't really have what to do, or they don't really have who to speak to about things worrying them. So they just keep it into them, and it's killing them, and it's killing so many people here too in our country. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Jane, are you there?
Jane, are you there? Okay. We have the youngest member of our panel joining us, and
yes,
that is Aliyah. Aliyah is a student of science. She was also beauty queen, and she has her own fashion sales business. Welcome, Aliyah. Go ahead, Jane.
Okay, good morning, everyone. To me, in my own profession, because I am an actor and beauty queen by profession and a cheerleader by vocation. So what I would consider like a bit of challenge in my area of specialization, especially the acting world, I would say number one, low paying job, and number two, I think abuse, not even like I think abuse as well is involved, you know, especially you being a girl child and having to face the world of entertainment. I think let me start with the low paying job. You will get a job because they feel like, okay, she's good at this thing. Let's, because my own kind of movie is like action, like screen fighter. So the action girl. Then you see that, okay, she's a stunt girl. Basically, she can do this thing. Then you call me to your job, you call me to your set, and you're giving me peanuts. You can't be paying me peanuts for what I've spent thousands of my years of my time learning. And when it's time for me to exhibit my talent, then those that just have speaking roles, just come on camera, talk, just because they have fame and like that, then you pay them higher than I do, that I'm putting my life on the line and like I'm risking my life. You're paying me what is not even worth it. So that for me is, no, that's a very big challenge. It's really
recording in progress.
It's really discouraging for me. And again, the other aspect of abuse is because, of course, they have, you know, people now are desperate, especially in this our movie entertainment industry. Everybody wants to be the face of this. They want to be the face of that. They want to, you know, have the fame and become one of the A-list actors. So now girls are more like desperate. Not just like girls, guys too. Everyone is desperate that they are literally ready to do anything just to get out there. So now, some of the producers and the directors seeing this, then they are kind of taking advantage of it. They are really, really taking advantage of it, that to the extent that they will tell you, okay, I remember going for one audition. This actually happened to me, like it's a real life thing that happened to me. I remember going for an audition. Then after the audition, they had to call me back for casting. Then after the casting, they called me again. The director called me and was like, "Hello, Jane." I said, "Hi." Like, you are a raw talent. He said, "Thank you so much, sir." Then he was like, "Okay, you're not just a raw talent, but we also have like thousands of people like you out here. So now what are you ready to offer to us?" Me being so innocent and like that, I'm like, "Sure, sir, I'm going to offer you my best. I'll make sure I deliver my line and give it the best shot." Then he laughed. He laughed at me. I was surprised. He said, "Of course, we have more people that are even more better than you do, so that are even willing to do anything we ask them to do. The point is that, are you willing to like get an entanglement with us? Are you ready to come and be with us?" I was like, "Oh, you mean I should like sleep with you before you give me a role?" They were like, "Of course."
All right.
Right. And
Okay.
for me, it's not now.
Lydia John is here.
Yes, so Lydia, perhaps Lydia has a book she titled Get That Acting Job. I don't know if there's a part of that book that addressed low paying jobs and then harassment like what Jane has talked about. Lydia, you have just 2 minutes.
Hi everyone. Good morning. This has been an interesting conversation from my observation, and I understand Jane's thing. Trust me, I totally understand. And you know, my book is actually here. Get That Acting Job. Yeah, it's basically teaching how to use your phone and social media to get acting job. And one of the reasons why I wrote this book is also to address that issue that you raised. Because in my years of being an actor, thankfully, I've been able to distinguish myself, you know, as a premium performer. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thankfully, I've been, you know, by the mercy of God, I've been able to distinguish myself as a premium performer. And Also, I've known myself as the actor that will not just compromise to be on screen, you know. So that had not to when it comes to the industry, and a lot of these people, they know that you will not bring that tail to Vivian John's table. You either want her for the value she brings, and you pay for it, or you do your film with every other person. But when Vivian John is on your set, you are sure of premium, you're sure of quality. So that's something that I address a lot in my book, so that actors begin to live beyond that mentality of, oh, come, let me showcase, let me come and pay your dues, come and pay your dues, or what other thing they say. We're giving you visibility, in exchange for your talent or whatever. Come and sleep with me. Genevieve did it. Amotola did it. Mr. Johnson did it. They fill your head with these lies, and if you're naive, if you have low self-esteem, if you're ignorant, you become an easy target. Yeah. So I have to address that in this book, and to ensure that a lot of actors that are coming in, or people that want to come into the industry, or the ones that are already there, they make that decision to first be actors, like really good actors, undeniably good actors. And then they find ways to communicate their value on social media to a wider audience. So it's not just that one director in one corner, or that other director in your village that sees you. It's the global audience that sees you, and it opens you up to more opportunities of people that really genuinely want good actors, and they're looking for these actors, and then they find you online. This happened to me. The first time I worked with Shan George a couple of years ago, she spotted me online, all the way from Calabar. She was Director General for their actors, for their actors community in Calabar by the state government. And she spotted me online and reached out to me on Instagram, on my DM. But before she even reached out to me on my DM, she followed me, and she just kept writing randomly, oh, I can't wait for you to come to Calabar after the COVID. I'm waiting for the flights to be open and all of that, so that you can come. You're such a good actor, that. And then she sent me a message and said, please, can I have your number? I would like to call you for a job, and how much would you take, and all of that. And my flight ticket, everything was paid. And I got there, she was introducing me to all the dignitaries there. Oh, this is one of the finest actors in Nigeria. She's really good. And then I was done with the job. They called me again, and I've had that relationship because we're able to communicate your values first. And then when you got the chance to deliver, you ate everything and left in the crop.
You delivered, good.
Right? You delivered.
Yeah.
So, they know there's a spirit in man. There's a spirit of excellence in man. That is God. And no, they see it. So these people, the coaches, the ones that they're looking for, the spirit in them, they know the one that they will bow to. And I'm very unapologetic about my approach in these things, because a lot of people have fallen by the wayside. Their lives have been destroyed because they made out of inspiration. Oh, I can't wait to become the famous actor. I can't wait to be about like Davis. I can't wait to be like the other dancer that just came back from UK that said, she wanted to prove to them that it's not about proving to anybody. Look, who you are is who you are. Who they are, not believing you is who they are. So that's their cup of tea. Not enter into depression, bothering yourself about other people's impression of you. The impression you have of yourself has to first be from inside. It's a self-esteem issue, and it starts from self. So upgrade mind to the point where you know your worth, you know your value. If this is white, if someone comes and tells you this is black, wouldn't you look at the person as stupid?
Absolutely,
or
you're right.
Ignorant, right? You look at the person as, oh, this person is ignorant, or this person is stupid, right? Because you're white. That's the value you bring to the table with your talent.
Let me just jump in to say that Peter Amamboye has brought in fantastic young people from around the world to speak for such a very short time. So I know that you guys are pregnant with a lot of thoughts and ideas, but you don't only have just 2 minutes. And, but thank you for sharing that.
Sorry.
That's very powerful.
All right.
And I think you're saying that first you must understand who you are, understand your value, and also portray the right values online so that you can attract the right sphere. And I think we're not only talking about the challenges, we're already preferring solutions for very young people who are faced by these same challenges. Let's talk to Aliyah. Aliyah is a second-year university student of Science Lab Tech, and she runs her own fashion sales. I think called Malia Collection. So Aliyah, talk to us. What's the biggest? So Aliyah, in that regard, and how are you navigating your way through?
Aliyah, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
I will still have Jamie and DME. Wow. Jamie is back. Go ahead, Aliyah. 2 minutes.
I didn't get a question. I think the network's bad.
What are the challenges as a young entrepreneur running your business as a student and being so young? What challenges do you have?
Yeah, people feel like because you are too young, probably you want to scam them, first of all. You want to scam them, or you are incapable of delivering some things. Like when you tell them, I sell so things, I sell quality things, and they'll be like, you are too young to be selling that kind of thing. How am I sure that what you're selling is quality? Or can you they can even say, okay, fine, let's believe that you are selling the quality. Can you come to our house? Can you bring it to our house? Like, you'll be like, because I'm young or I'm a girl, doesn't mean that I should come to your place or come to your house to deliver those things. And they'll be like, guys, students, you're a girl now. You need the money, come. Like harassment. It's just like harassment. Most of all, we face harassment almost every day. Mostly from people that want to buy, but just because you are young and you are a girl, you feel like what she needs is money. What she needs is money. Just when you just ask her to come, once you pay her off, she should come. She does not have a choice. What she's looking for is money. So they feel like because you are young, you are a student, you need money for everything, and they feel like once they throw that money in your face, you be at their every beck and call, and it's not supposed to be so. Because I think most of what is going on now is more of harassment than more of making money. Actually, if you put yourself out on social media, you'll be like you're just selling yourself. You're not actually selling. I've had people come to my DM and say, I'm selling myself instead of my business. That what am I coming online to advertise for if I'm not selling myself? I'm supposed to just advertise my product. And people don't believe. If they don't see you with the product, they won't believe it. So you have to be with the product, you have to wear it, you have to show it off online that I'm the one selling it, this is me, this is my identity, this is who I am. You can trust me, you can buy for me. But that's when you have people coming to your DM that you are just coming online to show us what you have. You're not actually selling anything. You are coming to show us your face, you are coming to show us what you can offer us. You're not showing us what you are saying. And it's crazy sometimes. And it's very, very depressing because of that. They will not patronize you. You'll be losing money every day.
That's very interesting.
If you decide not to.
I think it's something. Yeah, go ahead. I think it's something. Sorry, we're running out of time. But Jamie from Liberia is here. Nifemi, can you hear me? I think Nifemi's camera. Jamie, can you hear me? Can you hear me, people?
Sure can.
Yes.
Oh, Nifemi. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Jamie from Liberia. What Aliyah said is a very interesting topic. I think we should expand some more. But let's talk to Jamie from Liberia. So Nifemi, ask.
All right, Jamie. Jennifer Williams, final year art student from Liberia, who also wants to be an author. I think that the house is full of creative people. So speak to us about the unique challenge that you're faced with in Liberia as a young person with all of these big operations. In 2 minutes, please, Jen.
I think she's offline.
All right.
She's offline. So Deyemi.
Let's bring in Deyemi then. Deyemi, are you there? Yes, Deyemi is a fashion model, pageant king, a dancer, spoken word artist, and actor. Quickly, let's hear your thought in this regard. 1 minute.
Okay.
Turn on your camera, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In fashion designing, I think a lot is going on in fashion design. Sorry, pardon.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Pardon. Can you hear me, please?
All right.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
The mic.
A lot has been going on in pageantry.
A lot have been going on in pageantry, which people have to look onto. Like, understand that in pageantry, there are some people that you have to sacrifice before the contest, and it is not something that we should, as a model, like we should easily to any brand or ambassador. Like, one pageant contest event. We are looking for a winner actually, which is either male or female, and in their own process, female should be a winner. Even in my speech, I was tackling them that why female should be a winner, because I think there are something that benefit females attributes, like seeing themselves, selling themselves, like giving them this sexual influence and everything. So I think pageantry is something people having now is in pageantry, especially females. I think challenge in pageantry, and I think it is not even legal to people. There are some pageants that we have to talk about. We have to know that you don't have to go to some pageantry that people have to know that you don't have to present them. They are using them in pageantry. So I wanted to be a kid. I've been going to a lot of contests, not because of fame, but because I address this process and the challenges and mistakes some people are seeing. And most especially, models are supposed to show themselves. They're supposed to give value to you, but they're supposed to show to give value to the world. Make sure that people learn and be inspired. But now it is not something that they are not taking it serious again. So that's why I'm not putting much testimony. And
okay. Thank you, because I'm sorry, we're running out of time. Jenny is back. Jenny, real quick, he was asking you the challenges you face in Liberia as a youth. We have just 2 minutes, please. Jenny?
Yes, hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, you said some of the challenges that you face in Liberia pertaining industry or at large.
No, because particularly, what would you say?
Please.
As challenge.
Hello?
I think one of
the bad connection.
Bad connection in Africa.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, real quick.
I'm not understanding the question. I'm not understanding the question, sorry.
Okay, just what challenge you face trying to be an actress in Liberia and you want to come to Nigeria?
Well, some of the challenges, or one of the challenges I do face here is that
We have a whole we actually don't even have an industry with I think people will just wake up once you have a camera and they don't even need a script. Once you have a camera and you have few participants, they see it as of they go straight forward and shoot whatsoever they feel is right.
Johnny, I'm afraid
that's how it's done here. We barely have an industry even like before.
I have to
Hello?
and subsequently.
Can everyone turn on their cameras, please? Just let me go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes. So if everyone can turn on their cameras,
please, everyone.
Take a brief photo shoot. And I think that going through what everyone has said, there are quite a number of challenges with young people in this part of the world. We've heard about the issue of harassment, highlighted by young people who want to make entry into an industry. Someone shared about distraction of social media, the issue of drugs, and what have you. I'm just going to ask people to raise their hands if they have an idea to share with us, particularly as a young person at this time. What would you say has worked for you, to distinguish yourself? There's what they call the herd mentality, where people do things, young people do things, not because they really understand what they're doing, but because that's what they see every other person do. How have you been able to overcome that challenge and decide to pursue your own goals and dreams without heading in the direction of a popular idea? So if there's one or two person who's had a unique experience in that area with proven track record, we're just going to allow you to have some closing remarks before we end this. But please kindly put on your cameras so that we can see you. So who's there? Who wants to talk to us about how you've been an agent of change irrespective of the distraction around you? I see Lydia's hand up. Is there any other person who would like that?
And something even happened recently that Lydia was involved in. Lydia, can you quickly tell us about the fire? Because that was crazy. Your mic is up. Just 2 minutes because we have 3 hands.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So I am founder of an NGO. Yes, I'm the founder of an NGO, and we have a program called Better You Initiative. And we literally reach out to less privileged. We run scholarships for education and and shelter. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying, I'm a founder of Better You Initiative, a foundation that gives scholarships to the less privileged for their education. We provide shelter when we can, there's food aid and all of that. But recently, a community we deal with, it's called Ferry in Owoshopi. On 27th of July, 2023, the government set their houses ablaze, on fire, set their houses on fire, suddenly, without warning or notice. So many of these people are homeless, as we speak. Some people came back from work that day and they met ashes in place of their house, where their house used to stand. It was just on the house. So they couldn't even save their clothes, they couldn't save their money was in the house before, their foodstuffs, their whatever. I even heard, but I haven't confirmed that one, of a woman that lost her child in the fire. She wasn't there when the fire happened, so her child, her baby was inside the fire. But I haven't been able to see the woman, so I can't confirm that particular. But right now, we're just basically trying to raise funds to get rent, accommodation for the ones that we can't, for accommodation.
Okay.
So I put it on social media. We're trying to see how we can raise funds from people to support them. But that's
so poets was
so please, yes, if you can support us, kindly reach out to me. Now, for the question you asked, just quickly for the question you asked, I just quickly.
Okay.
Know yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to have strong values. All right, and then be sure to have integrity, because you do not want to compromise who you are. You will lead a lifetime of regret. I mean, there's a high possibility of a lifetime of regret when you compromise your value to get something that you think is in trend now, is trendy, maybe to get that career, to get to the top of your career. And then when you get there, you realize, oh, is this all this was about? People will congratulate you outside, but inside of you, you will literally die slowly because you know what you did to climb that ladder, and you realize that you are still not satisfied, and everything was for nothing. So just be true to yourself. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lydia, for sharing. Andrew, Lydia has used all of your time, so you have to and then after that, we'll hear from today and also from you. All right, Andrew, you're next. Please go. Let's go.
1 minute, please, because the Zoom will go off. And then Olamide's hand is up. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Your mic is muted.
I think your mic is mute. Let's go. 1 minute.
Okay, so evolution should be your lifestyle. Try as much as possible to develop yourself every day. 2, think about your legacy, whatever you do. Then 3, anywhere you go to or anything you do that people refuse to put you on the table, leave them, go and build your own table, build your platform, they will look for you.
I like
be apologetic about who you are. Just be you, and the
Very
rest will come for you when it's your time.
Thank you so much,
Jane,
Andrew.
1 minute.
Yes. Jane, you
1
have
minute.
1 minute.
Then 1 minute, Olamide.
Okay, literally they said it. What I say is that know your craft to the extent that nobody can beat you at your feet. That no one like even if they search the world, it's you. They will have to just come back and ask. So that's it.
Olamide.
I would say passion, because passion is a very well of inspiration. If you do not have passion in whatsoever you do, you won't do it. So just have passion, because it's like a well, like an energy. There's something about passion that is really, really big. So we all need to have passion for whatever we do. Whether you are being a dancer or actress or musician and everything, have passion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Nifemi, you have to go on air now, right?
Yes, in a short while, but let me say a big thank you to everyone who's been a part of this conversation. Thank you, Piga. Piga joined us from South Africa, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your contribution, and you spoke extensively about the young people's problem in Africa and the need to begin to look at it differently. Lydia has also shared very passionately with us what we need to do to know ourselves and, make sure that we are communicating the right messages about ourselves online. People Brace, thank you for your contribution. Andrew talked about evolution, and on a lighter note, I think your dreads have seen a lot of evolution. I like that so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Jane, thank you for sharing. Deyemi Olawumi, Olamide Olawale, Jennifer Williams, Aliyah. A big thank you, everyone, for being a part of this podcast. Of course, we're going to continue conversation. No doubt, young people who have access to opportunities like all of you, who are privileged to be educated. You are now carrying a huge burden for our continent, and we're looking forward to all that you have to do and all that you have to share. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. Particularly, know what you carry and do not, take less. A big thank you to Dr. Anna
and Nifemi. I think we should invite them for another part. What do you think? Because I think there's so much more we haven't said.
Absolutely. Perhaps we just have to, get less per episode so that we can.
Yes, we'll divide it into two groups. Would you guys like to come back?
On 100.
Oh, I don't hear anybody. Okay, change your contact. Please social media. You can get everyone's contacts because I can't type the contacts here because everyone's asking for contacts of each other in the. So if you're joining us live on live stream YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook, we thank you for joining us. Please engage and follow everyone here. Get that acting job, Lydia Jones' book, Poet. Thank you. And please support Olamide as she does she's a ballerina in Nigeria, so she needs that support. And Jane and Bibo, thank you for being here, for sharing your story. Bolu, thank you so much. Deyemi and Jamie from Liberia, we thank you for sharing with us. And please, everybody come back and join us as we're going to bring more on Thinking Reimagined. Thank you guys so much and see you. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Recording stopped.
The recording has stopped.